Are you feeling overwhelmed lately with all the things going on and all of the tasks that you're trying to get done? Maybe never feeling like you have enough time to do any of it, even though you feel like you're working on it all the time? If this feels like you, I want you to take a few minutes today to listen to this episode because I have one thing for you to try. Not a whole list of things, just one thing. And you might think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, it actually works.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
So I want you to think about all the things that you might be juggling, trying to multitask, doing everything at once, and feeling overwhelmed because there are multiple ways that this can apply to our lives. And you might think like that you have it pretty well focused and you're not always multitasking, but I want to go through some different scenarios that I wrote down. And these might apply to you, they might not, but you can kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about trying to do so much all at one time. And if you think about these compacted throughout the day and having them back to back to back, and you end up just having your brain go in so many different directions that just the stimulation of trying to keep up with everything is overwhelming in itself. And you're going to end up burned out and exhausted. So, here are some different things that I'm kind of talking about of when I'm saying you're juggling multiple things at once and feeling overwhelmed. So, you might be making a grocery list while talking to your husband and cooking dinner and also thinking about what needs to be done this week. You might be cooking dinner while helping the kids with homework or and trying to respond to emails at the same time. You might be folding laundry while also trying to catch up on a phone call or responding to text messages and also mentally planning what you need to do tomorrow. You might be paying bills online while scrolling social media and watching TV at the same time. You might be trying to clean the kitchen while also listening to a podcast and texting friends back. If I catch myself doing this one, I often find that I have to go back because I can't even register what they were talking about in the podcast. And I didn't actually listen to what I was listening to. So that one gets me tripped up quite often. Another option or example is that you might be trying to get ready for work while also answering work messages on your phone ahead of time and also packing lunches at the same time. Or you could be jumping between multiple browser tabs on the computer trying to finish some online shopping. Maybe you're getting ready for Christmas. You're also checking your emails and maybe you're researching something and you're doing it all at the same time, just bouncing between tabs. So there are so many different things that we are doing or we're in the process of doing, and then something pops in our head and it's like, oh, let me get to that real quick. And we bounce to that thing, and then we're just constantly being rerouted to so many different things. And all of that energy is being put into everything all at once, and nothing is getting our full attention and our full focus. And it's exhausting, it's overwhelming, and we're not putting our best work forward because we don't have the capacity to put our best work forward when we are stretching our capacity into so many different areas. So, here's the thing that I want you to try, and you're going to tell me that this is impossible. And if I had the time to do that, I would do it. And this is not something I can do, but I want to challenge you to try it. Just try it. Because when I was feeling super overwhelmed and somebody told me to do this, I would have looked at them like they were crazy. But the one thing I want you to do is try to do one thing at a time. And before you just turn the podcast off, I just want to try to convince you a little bit of why this might work for you even if you are feeling overwhelmed. So there are so many things that are calling for attention or that we have bouncing around in our brains all the time that we're constantly trying to do everything. Okay, so if this is you, I feel like I'm like a self-diagnosed ADHD. People tell me I have ADHD all the time. So I think that I may have some have it somewhat, but I have not been diagnosed, so I don't know. But my brain goes everywhere all the time. I'm trying to think of things. I constantly jump from one thing to another. I'm working on multiple things. My job requires me, like my full-time job requires me to constantly be doing multiple things at once and keeping things organized. So when I say that it is just naturally my default to try to do multiple things at once, that is true. But the more I practice trying to focus on one thing at a time, the better I get and the more I feel that sense of peace and calm and organization because I can put my full attention into one thing and I actually get it done much faster than trying to do multiple things at a time. So if you are making that grocery list while responding to emails and talking to your husband and watching TV, you're probably going to be better off just stopping everything, turning off the TV, asking your husband to wait a few minutes, and to just give your full attention to the grocery list. You can go through your meal plan, you can go through your kitchen really quickly, and you can write everything out. You have your full attention, you can think it through, your thought process goes down, and you can actually create a well thought out grocery list and you're probably not going to forget anything or miss anything because your full attention is on your grocery list. You can get it done, you can move to the next thing and finish cooking while you're talking to your husband. That one, you can be kind of actively making dinner while talking to your husband as long as dinner isn't some elaborate thing that you're using recipe cards. If you're just doing making a dinner that you make often and your default is to just to go through the steps automatically without even really thinking about them, then that's a great time to have a conversation. Or to do that and then sit down and have a movie night with your husband so that everything else has already been taken care of. You've already been doing that and now your movie night is actually relaxing and you can actually focus on the movie rather than trying to get your grocery list done and hold a conversation at the same time. So when you start doing this too, you might still be using the same amount of time. However, what I have found with myself, and I'd be curious to know what you find for you, if I actually separate the things and focus on one thing at a time, I am much more efficient because I can focus on that one thing. So I'm actually using less time. Things are more thought out or more intentional when I'm responding to those text messages or I'm responding to emails or I am creating that grocery list, whatever it is, I have a better attention span so that those types of things are actually more from the heart and when I can respond to people rather than just a quick text to say, "Okay, okay, yep, sounds good." All of those types of responses that we get so often, I can have a more thought out and personalized response to those things when I am focusing on responding at the time when I know it can take my full attention. And then because I am focusing on one thing at a time, it reduces the amount of time I spend on those things. So not only am I feeling less overwhelmed because I'm not feeling pulled in all directions, but I'm also getting things done faster and I end up having more free time so that I feel like I have more of that breath of fresh air. So all of those things compound so that I feel better. And I stop feeling like I'm juggling everything all the time. I stop feeling like I am just constantly in chaos mode. And I end up being much better at what I'm showing up for, whether it is for work, for family, for myself, for my home, all of those things. When I can give it my focused attention, I end up being better. So, if this is you, if you are feeling overwhelmed because you're juggling so many different things all at once, I want you to really think about just focusing on one thing at a time. And if you're like me in the beginning, I was terrible at this because I constantly would pull my attention. So I actually had to set a timer. I don't have to set the timer as much anymore, but when I was first doing this, a timer helped tremendously, and I still get in that where I sometimes a timer does help, and I just set it because I know I can get more in that mode if I need to, but now that I've done it so many times over and over and over, I can usually get myself there just by making sure I am being intentional about focusing on just one thing, but sometimes a timer is very useful. So, if you are getting started and you need to really focus on one thing, I would encourage you, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Like, if you have a task and you need to get something done, set your timer for 5 minutes and say, nobody bother me for 5 minutes. Let me focus on this thing. I guarantee you, you will get so much more done. You'll be more productive. You'll feel better. You're going to be more focused. It'll give you a better outlook. And then you can keep doing this and keep practicing it over and over, and you're just going to feel so much better. So I would encourage you to please try it, even if you think I'm crazy. If you try it, you're going to be kind of rough at first. It's not probably going to go super smoothly, but keep testing it and give it a solid try. And if you still hate it and it's not working, then you can forget about this episode and you don't have to come back to it. You don't have to try it again. But I would encourage you to really try and see if this works for you because I am so shocked at how much of a difference it makes for me that I'm hoping it makes a huge difference for you as well.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.